After the successful series which is Ultraman Z, Suburaya has announced a new series called Ultraman Trigger New Generation Tiga, which will be released this July. Now, lots of people are hyped. I myself am hyped as well. However, during this hype, there are lots of theories of who Trigger is and what are his origins. Believe me, I've scrolled through YouTube watching all of these videos, and while most of them are Indonesian, it's a good thing I understand them. They have some good points. However, there's one thing that really disturbs me as to why the transformation device is called, get this, the Guts Spark Lens. With that, let's get into the video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to leave a like if you like this video, subscribe and click on that notification bell to get more notifications on my videos. That did not make sense, I'm sorry, I'm reading this out of script. Now, if you clicked on this video, which I think you do because you know what Ultraman Trigger is, you may have known that lots of people have made videos about Trigger, and being Trigger is gonna be released on July, which is about 76 days it seems, I can't remember. I want to talk about something that really has bothered me, and after doing some research I may have found an answer to my question, and I'm just gonna share with you guys. So, we all know the transformation item for Trigger is going to be a spark lens type weapon, which is a hybrid of a gun. Now yes, gun transformation items are not that rare compared to anything else we've seen. In the Ultra series itself, we have seen a gun-like item which is a hybrid of transformation item with Ultraman Victory. Now of course, Victory is not the first Ultra to carry a gun which is made by the Ultra. Nexus has that. But in terms of hybrid and also compatibility with the transformation item itself, Trigger is the second, I assume, I can't remember. Now, that wouldn't be much of an issue considering the name is what really bugs me. Now keep in mind this thing is called the Guts Spark Lens. That's right, the name Guts. Now if you don't know who Guts is, it's the name of the organization for Trigger, which by the way, if you don't know by now, Trigger is set in the same universe as Tiga and Dyna. I'll get to that later. Now it's fun because this thing is a hybrid of a gun and transformation item. Once you put in these USB-like devices, I still don't know what they're called, I'm gonna pop, editor if you know what they are, please correct me. So once you put these USB devices in there, they're going to activate the mode, which you have to flip over to turn the gun into spark lens mode. Sure, here's the thing. This kind of device seems a little too advanced for an Ultra from the Tiga and Dyna timeline. Let me enlighten you. In the Tiga and Dyna universe, ancient Ultras only had simple transformation items, and of course this reflects in real life and also in the universe. In real life, back then, gimmicks were nothing. Basically just a simple push of the button and you're done transforming. Now with the gimmicks after Ginga, of course, I don't have a problem with gimmicks, honestly. I mean, they're fun, collectible, and we gotta make money somehow. But when we get into the concept of in-universe, that's where we get a little bit confusing. Now, if you don't know who Tiga is, let me give a little character intro. Tiga, an ancient giant from 3 million years ago, reincarnated and can type change, using the transformation item known as the Spark Lens. A simple push of the button will allow you to transform into Tiga. I assume most of you know that. Now, Tiga can change his colors of the body into, yes, 3 different forms: multi-type, sky type, and power type, all using willpower. And by willpower, I mean concentrating on one form. No transformation items needed, no kind of access form abilities, whatever you want to call those transformation trinkets. Am I right with that? All I'm saying is there are no other sequences to access the forms, which did start with Ginga? Yeah, it started with Ginga. Now with Trigger, it's weird because he has these USBs that have those 3 forms equipped. Now what does this mean? Well, obviously we don't know yet, but considering into theory, I have a few suggestions. First, let's talk about the transformation items itself, the Guts Spark Lens. Now, considering this is supposed to be a tribute to the T-God universe, of course the transformation item would look a bit like the spark lens, although slightly altered. I mean, it's not the first time. We had that with the X-Beta Spark once, but let's not talk about that one yet. Of course, and then when you consider the naming, the Gut Spark Lens, why would a transformation item, if it is owned by Trigger itself, have the name Guts? Well, here's the explanation I will give, which has built up to 4 minutes and 43 seconds of my recording. Remember, this series is supposed to be the anniversary of the TDG, which is Tiga Daina Gaya, and also you can include Agu in there, so TDGA. Okay. And then, when you consider that there's Gaia aspects into Trigger itself, not just Tiga and Daina, it does add up. And I'm trying to say is, the Gut Spark Lens, aka Trigger's transformation item, is man-made. Now, why do I say man-made? Now, well, if you've watched Ultraman Gaia, which I hope you do, episode 3, it shows that Gamu Takayama, the host of Gaia, built a transformation item to host the light of Gaia itself. And yes, Gaia did not have a transformation item. It was only just a particle of light, which Gamu had to keep in a transformation item that he built. Now, of course, this did not have the naming of XIG Espelender. You Google it up, I don't want to get into that. So, considering this is made by the considering I will theorize, assuming that the host of Trigger is the one who created the Gut Spark Lens, I think it does make sense why it would have the name Guts, purely for the fact it has the technology of modern Guts in there. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, of course, you're a Guts officer, you just don't want a transformation item, you also want something offensive. And that would make sense, right? That the Trigger Spark Lens would make sense to be man-made. But it does not explain one issue. Sure, if the Gut Spark Lens was the only thing that was man-made by our host, protagonist, assuming, that won't be much a major issue. What is the issue is those thumb drive-esque trinkets. Like I said, Tiga can type change. Trigger itself is homage to Tiga and also can type change. But if Trigger is just a light and our protagonist is the host who made the spark lens to contain Trigger's light, why would he need those memory devices? Well, here's the sad thing, and I don't know if it's correct, so we're gonna have to wait until the series releases. I think Trigger is a man-made Ultraman. Okay, I know it's a bit long a stretch, but remember, this is the Neo Frontier timeline, the same timeline as Tiga and Daina. And for some of you who have watched Ultraman Daina, you may have known about the TPC secret project that was kept under wraps in their universe, Project Zelgonoid or Terranoid. What was the name of the robot again? Just call it Robot Daina. So, if you take into consideration that, could Trigger be a man-made Ultraman? Think about it. Zelgonoid has golden lines all over its body, just like Trigger itself. He's also in the Neo Frontier timeline, same as Trigger. Guts, Spark Lens, could be man-made. There's no way a transformation item would have the name Guts. And of course, memory devices, probably housing Tiga's combat data. The more you think about it, and the more that I have talked about it, the more that you sit down, think, could Trigger be a man-made Ultra? A successfully man-made working Ultra with a host that has replaced the parts of Tiga and Daina once they were gone? Could Trigger be the successful creation of humankind in the Neo Frontier timeline? But that's a video for another day. So I'm gonna have to stop here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, leave a like if you liked the video. Leave comments on what you think about what Trigger is, about his transformation item. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you're interested in these kinds of videos again, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. And I mostly make music videos, so these kinds of videos are rare for me to make. I had to make this because I need to get it out of my head. And as always, I'll see you next time. Stay safe, be cool, and what other transitions?